Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in the world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of my page by page reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. It's been a while since I've been able to continue with the book of Leviticus. Today we're going to go into Leviticus 21. I'm not going to keep it video the entire time, but I know some of you out there have been a little bit worried about me. You've been like, where's Alexandra? She hasn't been doing her page by page reading of the Bible. Well, I've been doing other stuff. If you follow my other projects, which you can easily find if you visit alexandramayers.com, sometimes other things take my attention, and truth be told, the book of Leviticus has been a little bit difficult for me to digest, considering the life I've lived, um, things that I hold true to my heart. This is, I suppose, the first instance of my divisiveness internally when it comes to who I am at my core and Christianity. I still consider myself a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I try to do right by people. Christianity just has a lot of beautiful stories that I hold true to my being. I loved Genesis. I loved the book of Exodus, but the book of Leviticus has been difficult for me. So we're going to go ahead and get into Leviticus 21 today, and maybe even beyond. And I'll provide my commentary as I see fit. But it's good to see a lot of you again. I just wanted to show proof of life from over here. Next time you see me, I'll have my hair flat ironed, actually. I've been natural girl for a little while, and I go back and forth with that. But my hair's a little bit shorter, too. I cut it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the book of Leviticus. And if you want to participate in the chat respectfully, feel free to do so. It's free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and participate in the chat along with my other projects. In time, that might change. But for now, I don't consider myself that big of a deal, so it's free. Anyways, it's good to see some of you today. And to my family, hi. To my friends, hello. To my longtime followers, mwah. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, Leviticus 21, rules for priestly conduct. Then the Lord said to Moses, speak to the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say to them, none shall make himself unclean for the dead among his people, but for his closest relatives, that is, for his mother, his father, his son, his daughter, his brother, and his virgin sister, who is near him, because she has not had a husband. For her he may be made unclean. And he shall not make himself unclean as a husband among his people because of the dead, and so defile himself. They shall not make bald areas on their heads, nor shall they shave off the edges of their beards, nor make any cuts in their flesh. They shall be holy unto their God, and not profane the name of their God. For they offer the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and the food of their God. Therefore they shall be holy. They shall not take a wife who is a whore, or who has been defiled. Nor shall they take a woman divorced from her husband, for he is holy unto his God. Wow, that's interesting. See, this is another reason why I am having an issue with the book of Leviticus. Man, this is so judgmental. I can't believe how often the term whore is utilized in the book of Leviticus. Do I find it offensive? I absolutely do. I don't ever feel that I've been a whore in my life, but people have called me a whore because of my past professional background. And see, this kind of thing, I mean, between Leviticus 18 and 19, now we're in 21. It's just like they try to, it seems like whoever wrote the modern English version of the Bible is trying to purposely exclude people who would be really awesome Christian candidates or Christians in general. This would actually prompt people to want to leave Christianity simply because of Leviticus. It really would. I understand why certain people who are deemed as being on the fringes of society don't want to be Christians. It's because of this. You know, why omit the book of Enoch from the Bible, but continually include the book of Leviticus? Who am I to say? I'm not associated with the Vatican to my knowledge, but I'm just saying. These are just Alexandra Mayer's thoughts. But let's continue. You shall say, let's start back with Leviticus 21:7. Okay. You shall not take a wife who is a whore or who has been defiled, nor shall they take a woman divorced from her husband, for he is holy unto his God. You shall sanctify him, for he offers the food of your God. He shall be holy to you. For I, the Lord, who sanctifies you, am holy. And women who are divorced, don't listen to this. Seriously. Sometimes women divorce because the guy that they're with is a true POS and is making their lives unbearable. If you feel the need to divorce, divorce. Don't listen to, this book of Leviticus 21 when it comes to you potentially finding another husband who's of God, who's a Christian. And to you Christian men out there who are taking this verbatim when it comes to Leviticus 21, you might want to rethink some things, because a lot of things in life happen that I don't believe the book of Leviticus 21 is covering. But let's continue. The daughter of any priest, if she defiles herself by being a whore, there's that word again, she also defiles her father. Really? Oh, this is horrible. She shall be burned with fire. Well, there you go. There you go. That's what happened. I'm turning the video on. That's it. See, this book of Leviticus is what prompted a horrific time in history known as the Salem witch trials. Really, it prompted what happened with Joan of Arc. Even after she did everything that she did for her people, I believe it was in France, they burned her. They're burning everybody. All these men who want to use burning at the stake as a way to cover up their own indiscretions, usually with the women that they're burning. Same thing with the organized stalking and harassment today. But this makes me angry. We're going to continue. I just want you all to know that I'm going to have to do something about this. He who is the high priest among his brothers, on whose head the anointing oil was poured, and who is consecrated to wear the garments, shall not dishevel his hair, nor tear his clothes, nor shall he approach any dead body, or make himself unclean, even for his father or his mother. Nor shall he go out of the sanctuary, so as not to defile the sanctuary of his God. For the consecration of the anointing oil of his God is upon him. I am the Lord. Question. Was this actually God speaking to somebody, or was this one of the angels? Something to think about, because oftentimes the angels were messengers of God, right? We know this when it comes to Sodom and Gomorrah. You had Abraham looking out at all the atrocities going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, and two angels came to him, but they were speaking on behalf of God. So it's a little bit misconstrued. It's like questionable. It's like, were these just the angels speaking to Abraham from their own mind? Now, keep in mind, angels don't have free will like humans. So it's questionable. Or was this God speaking to Abraham directly when it came to that situation? So it's hard to tell. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, and keep in mind, they use the term Lord here. Lord instead of God. And this is the modern English version of the Bible. Lord is tremendously different from God. Lord is actually closer to the term master than God when I really think about it. But we'll talk about that another day. One of these days, I want to do a live reading. It's going to take me a whole week, and I've already deciphered that, of the book of Enoch. And I'm going to do it video. That way you guys can see me, because I feel like that's important. All right, so anyway, Leviticus 21:16. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to Aaron, saying, none of your offspring and their generations who has any blemish may approach to offer the food of his God. For whoever has a blemish, he shall not approach, whether a blind or lame man, or one who has a physical flaw on his face, or a limb that is too long, or a man who has a broken foot or a broken hand, or a hunchback, or a dwarf, or who has a defect in his eye, or eczema, or scabs, or is a eunuch. No man who has a blemish from the offspring of Aaron, the priest, shall come near to offer the food offerings of the Lord made by fire. Wow! That is super discriminatory. That is super discriminatory. Incredibly so. Oh, wow. Okay, so here I am again. Okay, I have an off-center eye. You guys can see this. I'm blemished. I have a blemished little face. And it didn't happen to me until my older years. It's hereditary. So the book of Leviticus is specifically saying that if you embody a handicap, you're not good enough. I don't like this. Maybe later in the Bible, this will be corrected or amended. I'm not going to say it's not. Keep in mind, I'm doing a page by page, authentic reading and reaction and commentary when it comes to the Bible. But, see, this is why certain people don't like Christianity. But regardless, I still consider myself to be a Christian today. Here we go. He has a blemish, in other words, a flaw. He shall not come near to offer the bread of his God. He shall eat the food of his God, both of the most holy and of the holy. Only he shall not go through the veil or come to the altar, because he has a blemish, so that he does not defile my sanctuaries. For I am the Lord who sanctifies them. Moses spoke this to Aaron and to his sons and to all the children of Israel. Oh, that was harsh. That was pretty harsh, in my opinion. We're going to go ahead and go into Leviticus 22 because I've been a little bit behind. So here we go. Leviticus 22, holy offerings. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to Aaron and to his sons, so that they should be very respectful with the holy things of the children of Israel, and that they do not defile my holy name with those things which the people have consecrated to me. I am the Lord. Say to them, whoever from your offspring through your generations approaches the holy things which the children of Israel have dedicated to the Lord, while he has uncleanliness, that person shall be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. Again, there's some attitude here that I do not agree with, but who am I not to agree? I'm just one little person in this world, and this is centuries of doctrine. If a man of the offspring of Aaron is a leper or has a discharge, he shall not eat of the holy offerings until he is clean. And whoever touches anything that is unclean by contact with the dead, or a man who has an emission of semen, or whoever touches any crawling thing whereby he may be made unclean, or a man from whom he may receive uncleanliness, whatever uncleanliness he has. The person who has touched any such thing shall be unclean until evening, and shall not eat of the holy things unless he washes his body with water. This is interesting. I mean, are they talking about STDs in this particular instance? It kind of sounds like they are. Chlamydia specifically. I mean, it's good that they're promoting good hygiene within the Bible, within Leviticus 22. But it sounds like there was some sort of STD or virus or disease that was amongst the people at this time. When the sun goes down, he shall be clean, and afterward he shall eat of the holy things, because it is his food. That which dies of itself or is torn by animals, he shall not eat, becoming unclean by it. I am the Lord. So, and this is interesting to me. I've heard people in the past question why we as humans don't eat animals that just die naturally. Well, I'll tell you why. And I know this being somebody who grew up around, I grew up in a suburb for the most part in my early years of life, meaning my childhood till my later teens. But I knew a lot of farm people because the suburbs are surrounded by farms. And what I learned is that if an animal dies of itself, usually it's because the animal is it's diseased. If you're going to eat the flesh of an animal, you need to kill it while it's fairly young. Maybe an adult, but still fairly young, which I understand why vegetarians are against that and they don't eat animal products or anything. But I happen to be a meat eater. I enjoy chicken, turkey, lamb, every once in a while, pork, um, beef, every once in a while. I don't eat a lot of beef or pork really, but I'm particular with where I get my meat, especially nowadays, because I've just found that buying organic food, it makes me feel better. Not just emotionally, but internally. You got to be careful with what you put into your body. So let's continue. Leviticus 22:9. They shall therefore keep my ordinance, lest they bear sin from it, and therefore die if they defile it. I am the Lord who sanctifies them. There shall be no outsider who eats of a holy thing, whether a foreign guest of the priest or a hired servant. He shall not eat of a holy offering. But if a priest buys a person with his money, the person acquired shall eat of it. What? Hold up. Hold up. This just disturbed me a little bit. And he that is born in his house shall eat of his food. What? So, I mean, and see, this is another problem that I do have with the Bible, that it allots for slavery. A priest is going to buy another person. Ugh, I hate this too. I mean, some people question whether or not our economic system today, even though we are officially seen as free, considering debt and whatnot, are we slaves? Something to think about. If the priest's daughter marries an outsider, she may not eat of an offering of the holy things. But if the priest's daughter is a widow or divorced and has no child and has returned to her father's house as in her youth, she may eat of her father's food, but no outsider may eat of it. So these are interesting rules that are set forth for the priest's household. And hello, welcome to the live stream today. I Kim. If a man eats the unholy thing unwittingly, in other words, he doesn't know, then he shall add a fifth of the value to it, and shall give the holy thing to the priest. They shall not defile the holy things of the children of Israel, which they offer to the Lord, and cause them to suffer and to bear the iniquity of guilt when they eat their holy things. For I am the Lord who sanctifies them. All right, now we're going into a section called acceptable offerings. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, Whoever from the house of Israel or from the foreigners in Israel who offers his burnt offering to any vows or free will offerings that he offers to the Lord, then if it is to be accepted for you, the offering shall be a male without blemish, a bull, sheep, or goat. But whatever has a blemish, you shall not offer, for it shall not be acceptable for you. Whoever offers a sacrifice of peace offerings to the Lord to fulfill his vow, or a free will offering, whether from the herd or flock, to be accepted, it shall be perfect, with no blemish on it. So again, we have very high standards here for God, which maybe isn't a bad thing. I'm going to try my best not to judge, but again, this is the Alexandra Mayor's reading and commentary, and we all know sometimes I don't have a filter. Blind or disabled, or maimed, or having an ulcer, or eczema, or scabs, you shall not offer these to the Lord, nor make a food offering by fire on the altar to the Lord. A herd animal or a flock animal that has a limb that is too short or that is too long or short, you may offer for a free will offering. But for a vow, it shall not be accepted. And this is very interesting to me when it comes to this without blemish doctrine, because, a lot of people gave Hitler and the World War II Nazi regime a very hard time for being perfectionist when it came to their standards of what they felt humanity to be. Maybe they got some of this from this book of Leviticus. Anyone ever think about that? I'm not condoning World War II Germany or Nazis or anything along those lines. Keep in mind, I am an African American Black woman. You have seen me on this live stream. You know exactly what I look like. So I'm just saying, these almost impossible standards that the Bible sets, this could feed into certain people's mania. Truthfully, just saying. All right, let's continue. You shall not offer to the Lord an animal that is bruised or crushed or torn or cut, nor shall you make an offering of them in your land, nor from a foreigner shall you offer an animal as the food of your God, because a blemish is in them from their mutilation. They shall not be accepted for you. All right, let's continue. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, When an ox or a sheep or a goat is born, then it shall be 7 days with its mother, and from the 8th day and thereafter it shall be accepted for a food offering made by fire to the Lord. Oh, that's such a short time for the mothers of these animals, these baby animals that are sacrificed. At least they got 7 days. But you shall not slaughter on the same day an ox or a sheep and her young. When you offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the Lord, offer it so that it may be accepted. On the same day it shall be eaten. You shall leave none of it until the next day. I am the Lord. Therefore, you shall keep my commandments and do them. I am the Lord. You shall not defile my holy name, but I will be sanctified among the children of Israel. I am the Lord who sanctifies you, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord. So we'll stop there. This brings us up to the book of Leviticus 23. So we'll go into that another day, tomorrow, most likely. Oh, I'm not so sure about this Lord of Leviticus. I feel like he's utilizing as leverage the fact that he did free them from slavery. I feel like there's a lot of very judgmental and exclusive doctrines and rules and laws and regulations that are said in the book of Leviticus. So, am I critical? Yes. Do I have the right to criticize? Most likely not. But do I have freedom of speech? Yes. Do I embody free will, which is the gift from God that God gave to all humans, not just men, but women too? Yes. So that's my feeling for today. I want to thank all of you for watching me. Here, I'll pop back on camera. Thank you for watching today. I will come back another day. I'll come back another day, and we will continue with our page-by-page reading and commentary of the Bible. I'm having a great time doing it. I really am. I always wanted to do this my entire life. I know I get sidetracked along the way on occasion, but you know, I feel like I'm doing this in the time that God wants me to do it in. How I'll feel about Christianity as a whole at the very end, only God knows. I don't know yet. You don't know. It'll be a surprise, I suppose. But everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and thank you for keeping up with me. Love yourself. Love God. Trust in yourself and trust in God. Bye-bye.